Hi, it's Tootie Tagerly coming to you from San Francisco on the West Coast on a Tuesday, midday, little afternoon. And today I've been looking back a lot over all the high achievers, super producers, very ambitious people that I've coached over the past decades. And I wanted to share three focus areas of leadership coaching that I typically work with, including some tips, some super high level tips for what to do within these focus areas and what typically is holding people back. And then a fourth bonus. So chatting today about three focus areas of leadership coaching. What I found that hits a large number or some number of people that I work with first is the ability to dream bigger. And this is correlated to different periods of time in our life. I think especially after we've achieved some type of failure or external stress or other scenarios in our life, whether it's medical health care issue for aging parents or the stress of the pandemic, after these external events, there can be the tendency to constrict. Maybe something didn't work out at a previous job and you were laid off. Whatever these hurts and pains are can start to really, the fear can drive us to constrict. And behaviors after that will be, well, I might take the next safe job. I might take the job that I know that I can do. If I'm running a company, I might take the safe option rather than dreaming bigger, rather than trying to aim for the fences with those home runs, because it's an easier way to live. There won't be that failure that you've existed before. There won't be the person telling you. So as a coach, a lot of what I work with people is to, similar as I did as a designer, help them envision and dream bigger and believe and feel the experience of that rich, full life and all the dreams and goals that they could have. Many of us try to work in this land of loss mitigation. Well, I'm gonna think about all the cracks, the bad things, the consequences, and sometimes it takes a partner, a coach, to really push to, well, what if you could envision the best possible future, the best possible outcome, and feel what it was going to be like? Because that's going to help motivate, and envisioning is going to make really be the first step of making it happen. And what holds us back is fear of failure, fear of being judged, fear of messing up. And this is all very human and a lot of stories we tell ourselves. So as a coach, I push people beyond that to dream bigger. The second thing, a little bit more down a little from the dreaming bigger, is working with people on prioritization and accountability. Because as we've all heard, as we are in the depths of our to-do lists and overwhelm and all the fires that we have to fight each day, each week, we lose perspective. We lose the perspective to say, hey, what is really important? There's this fire drill, there's this person yelling at me, I've got 5 Slack messages of things that need to be done. And really, the things that are really important, the things that are going to get me to that long-term dream, the thing that only I can do and nobody else, it's hard to be accountable for that, to make sure that that gets done. Because what we do is we tend to do the things that we're really, really good at. And we kind of consciously or unconsciously avoid the things that we're not good at. So what I do as a coach is I say to leaders things that maybe nobody else ever says to them before, pointing out the patterns to be like, hey, seems like you're falling into this pattern of firefighting and listening to the loudest voice in the room. Well, what about how do we actually create a plan to get the strategic 5-year initiative done, which only you can do? How do we set up a plan? How do we make up small baby steps to make sure that there's accountability towards that? Um, Most of the high achievers I work with don't need a accountability coach per se. They have the ability and the drive to say, I'm going to get this and this and this done. And this is why prioritization and accountability come together, because you've got to be accountable to do the best, most important things that are going to move your mission forward. Because it's pretty easy to be accountable to do the stuff that's easy for you, which may be urgent, but aren't the most important. The last theme and focus area that I see a lot with high achieving leaders is the tendency to become really visionary and want to work on the next new shiny object. Oh my gosh, something came in opportunistically, and it's going to be really hard for me to say no to it. I didn't expect this to come in, so I'm going to do this and this. But every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So if you flip it, saying no to something, no to some of these like big, shiny objects is actually letting you focus on the thing that's most important to you right now, the thing that's going to let you move towards your dream. And it can be hard to say no because it feels like it's cutting off a future. It's a closed door that you can't go back through. And one reframing that helps is not to say no, but to put a time frame on it. To say, "Hey, no, not right now. We'll revisit that in Q1 of 2023 or end of mid-year 2023." Because what that does, shaking away, sweeping away the shiny objects by saying no for now, helps to really focus on what's most important. So we talked about the dreaming bigger, the long-term vision. I think the other thing that's important for the accountability piece is what's in the 3-month horizon. That's the focus for the 3-month horizon. And anything that doesn't quite fit in there becomes a shiny object that can be pushed off. So the top 3 focus areas to help leaders become even more impactful and get to the life of what they want is to move beyond the fear, to dream bigger and feel what the upside could be. Focus on what's really important, not just what's urgent, and have a way to break the patterns of not doing simply what's easiest and what you're good at, and have that accountability. And then finally, being able to say no for now to the shiny objects. The bonus one, which is not the topic of this live, but we'll come back to this later. This is much more situational. The other, probably where I spend the majority of my time talking to people about and coaching them on, is really relationships, because that's the other people. In terms of these 3 focus areas of leadership coaching, these are the ones that are solidly in 100% your circle of your locus of control. Relationships is outside, and that will be a topic for another future live. All right, that's it. Tootie Tagerly talking to you about the top 3 focus areas of leadership coaching that I see with my clients. I'll see you next